Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review video for you. This video goes up on a Monday, so this is Masters of the Universe Origins by Mattel Monday. This is the Beastman action figure. This was released in 2020. I bought it in a store in 2020. I'm getting around to opening it up now. Here it is in a nice packaging that is very similar to what the original packaging way back in the 80s looked like, with the blue and the red. This time it's retro play with the similar style as the 80s action figure, but more updated articulation that we can see in packaging, in the bubble packaging. Here is the top, there is the bottom, here is one side, here is the other side, here is the back with a nice picture on the top. I like these pictures. It's very exciting and entertaining. This shows the action feature, which is really just posing the action figure with a new articulation. A cross cell showing the other action figures available at the same time, and some manufacturing information on the bottom. So we will open this up and review the action figure in just a moment. Here is Beastman freed from the plastic prison there. The accessories he comes with, there's a mini comic book. Nice little mini comic book. I like the art. But it is exactly the same as the others we have seen so far. A nice cross cell on the back. My complaints are this is too short. I'd like it at least twice as long for a nice entertaining story. And also each character, He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, and Evil Lyn, have all come with exactly the same comic book so far. So, little missed opportunity to have more stories there. Here is Beastman himself. Let's see how tall this action figure is. As straight and tall as possible. He's almost 6 inches tall, or about 15 centimeters tall. So, nicely sized action figure. The accessories that he comes with, this whip that he's holding in his hand. Interesting grip. This smaller part fits into his hand, and here we have just a string, but it just flops over, so a little hard to put it in an action pose suspended in the air, but that's the way it is. The other accessories are these shoulder or arm pads or spikes. We have to attach these. We just wrap the plastic around, plug it into the peg there, and slide it down to his arms. So those look very nice. And here is the Beastman action figure. And nice ugly face there. Some nice painted details on the face there. He also has an extra piece attached to his body here. This just slides over the neck peg, and it's attached together here in the back, so it adds some nice details. But this piece is kind of hollow. We can see the hollow plastic there, but still looks nice, and it's probably what the original Beastman had in the 80s, so it looks pretty nice. Now if we look at the body here, I think it's different from most of the other male bodies. This has some fur texture sculpted into the body, so not smooth like He-Man or Skeletor or Man-at-Arms. I think the upper arms are probably exactly the same. It's smooth there, but the forearms I think are different. These have some fur texture sculpted into it. The hands I think are pretty much the same across all the action figures. The upper legs I think are the same, just in a different colored plastic here. The loincloth, the furry underwear, I think that's the same, just in different colors. And the legs, the upper part here I think is the same as the others, but the boots are a little bit different, and a little bit different feet. Little peg holes on the heels there. So there's a lot of reuse, which is no surprise, and some original parts at this point. with this Beastman character. I'm sure these parts will be reused with other characters, but that's the way Masters of the Universe has been since the original toys in the 80s. So that's alright. Let's take a look at the articulation. With the head, we can look up that much, but not down. We can't look down at all. Turn side to side, some head tilting. It's pretty loose up here. At the shoulders, you can go out this far. That's pretty good. And go all the way around. So that's working. All the way around on both sides. And we have single jointed elbows. That's as straight as the arm goes, and then that's as far in as it'll go, plus a swivel at the elbow. So that works. Same thing on this side. As straight as the arm will go, and then bend in that far and swivel at the elbow. At the wrist, we can turn. That is working. There's also a hinge, so that is working there, and so is that. Well, this way it goes much further this way, and then up just a little bit. There is a waist twist, so that is working. At the hips, Beastman can do the splits. It's about as far as he will go. So it looks okay. And he can kick forward just that far. Kick back just a little bit. Kick forward just that far, and back just a little bit. There's no upper thigh cut on these figures. At the knee, single jointed knee, and a swivel at the knee. So that works. And the same thing on this side, single jointed knee and a swivel at the knee joint. So that is working. Has an interesting upper lip on the knee joint there. And there is a boot cut where we can turn right at the boot. Same thing on both sides, that is working. And at the ankles, he can go on his tippy toes there, and it bends forward that far, and there is ankle pivot, so that is working nicely. So I'm pretty happy with this action figure right out of the package. It looks like all of the joints are working pretty smoothly. I get the full range of movement out of the joints. Nothing is too stiff, although the head is pretty loose. It feels pretty loose. It wobbles, but it still stays in position. As far as I can tell, it's still staying in position. But the joints are working pretty nicely, so I'm very happy about that. And it looks cool. Here is the Masters of the Universe Origins Beastman action figure with a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. And this Beastman action figure with the Origins style, the odd proportions of the Origin style, this Beastman is very bestial looking and works very nicely as a great big monster that battles against a 4-inch scale action figure. So they work well together. Here is the Masters of the Universe Origin Beastman action figure next to a pair of 6-inch scale action figures. On the left is the Action Force Condor action figure by Valiverse. This one's actually about 6.5 inches tall. And on the right is the Fortnite Legendary Series Skull Trooper action figure by Jazzwares. And that one is exactly 6 inches tall. So Beastman, with his odd proportion, it makes a great monstrous type action figure and works well at this scale because monsters don't always have to be bigger than our heroes or main characters. So sometimes the monster can be a bit smaller. So this works very well at the 6-inch scale. Here's the Masters of the Universe Origins Beastman action figure next to a pair of 7-inch scale action figures. On the left is the DC Multiverse Green Lantern Kyle Rayner action figure by McFarlane Toys. On the right is the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Beastman action figure based on his appearance in the Revelation cartoon. This is made by Mattel. And Beastman works well at the 7-inch scale because not all monsters have to be the same size or bigger than the main hero or character. So he can be a smaller than usual monster at the 7-inch scale. He can also be Beastman's younger brother or little buddy. And just for fun, here Beastman is with the Marvel Legends Abomination, the Gamerverse version. And it's just nice having a bunch of monsters lined up together. So this Abomination is nearly 10 inches tall, so he makes a great, big, huge monster. So a great addition to any monster collection, along with the different versions of Beastman. So the little one is a nice little monster that joins the whole team. Here's just a final comparison and some final thoughts for this Beastman action figure. So if we look at their weapons, the Masterverse version has a string just like the Origins version. So no bendy wire, so we can't display it with the whip in the air. Also, if we look at the handle, for the Masterverse version, the larger part of the handle is the grip, while the Origins version, which is based on the original version in the 80s, the smaller part was the handle and the bigger part was just an extra piece for some reason. Also, if we look at the Beastman figures, the Origin or the Masterverse version has a much more pronounced hunchback to make him look more bestial or monstrous than the Origin style Beastman, which is based on the original. So they only gave him the hunchback appearance with this extra plastic piece that was the collar. So I do like both versions. I do like this version here because it's based on the original. I enjoyed the cartoon. I did not have the original toy at the time, but it's a pretty nice action figure. I like this version with the better articulation. But the source material is still entertaining, and it's nice to have a physical representation of the original characters. So all in all, it's a pretty nice action figure with the joints working for me very nicely. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews and commentary. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.